Is the 14th queen? Stay tuned to hear what we think it is.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Real quick. I forgot to take our group picture at the beginning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Actually, it's the first official episode for Drag Race Season 9.
That's right.
I'm your host. Our second. I'm your host, Kenny Harrison, by way of South Carolina. You can find me at Kenny C. Harrison on
unibrow.com.
Exactly.
I don't know.
At Instagram and Twitter. Sitting next to me is my fraternal twin sis.
1, 2, 3, Jackie B on all platforms.
And sitting next to Jackie is my identical twin sis.
March A. Freeman.
And on the end, we'll just call you my play cousin.
Your nemesis.
Your what?
My play cousin.
Oh.
Never heard of that?
No.
No.
But I want to know more.
Is this your cousin that you sleep with?
Oh, no.
Kenny, we're going to bring it up.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Jay Ellis, guys. And Lana Del Rey once called me an asshole.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for your comments. If you're downloading us on iTunes, thank you for listening to us. This is episode 1 of season 9. What do we think? First impressions?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved this. I loved Untucked. I had a blast.
I felt a little deprived of the episode. I liked the Untucked, but I felt this one kind of was... I felt it was the Lady Gaga show.
Okay, that's fair.
I was okay with that, though.
I'm going to cut the difference. I think that it didn't feel like a traditional premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some things that were going on that we normally don't see. Like we went right into a runway. We had no challenges and no RuPaul and drag. But it was... I liked the queens. I liked them.
Do you wonder if Rue's going to be not in drag the whole season? This was
No,
like
Ross,
a...
Ross says that
Okay.
she is in drag.
Oh, I didn't even notice that this episode. But then again, there was no elimination, so it was no runway. I am invested. I was telling Mark earlier, Season 7 was one of those seasons where I was like, I don't really care
Season
about any
7
of
was
these
painful.
people. I'm invested in a lot of these queens, and it's one of those things where you know how shows go on and on and on, and you just kind of like, okay, it's the same thing over and over again.
Right.
For some reason, I feel like this is going to be interesting to watch this season because of the contestants. So I'm going to trump all of you and say this is the best season ever.
Don't you dare try.
Yeah, don't trump anything.
Oh, I forgot. Trump that bitch.
Right.
Well, we got Lady Gaga on the premiere, which is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's such a huge, get.
It's huge.
And I think even Ruth said herself, we're just going to have crazy big stars and big challenges this season. So I think it's going to be
Well,
fun.
the show has definitely found an audience over the last few seasons, and a big audience, and so people are watching, which is great. Let's do so. Last week I won this little game that Jay created called Guess the Entrance. And I have to admit, while I was watching the first episode, two things. When I was watching this episode, I was underwhelmed because you brought up so many great entrances
Catchphrases.
from the over 9 seasons. So as I was watching, I was waiting, but nothing really stood out
Although
for me.
Nina Bonina Brown's was
The look.
the most that stood out as far as the when you combine look with catchphrase, it was the only one to me that kind of stood out at that level that you're like, okay, I'm going to remember this going forward.
Do you guys want to go down the list?
You don't think Sasha Velour's was...
No.
Were you joking? I really liked it.
I liked it, but I didn't remember what she said.
The scream. It was just
screamed.
she was.
Oh, it was a scream.
Yeah, you guys
blocked
want to go
that
down
out.
the list?
Yeah, let's do the
Peppermint
list.
was first.
Are we talking outfits or just the catchphrase?
Both.
Like their
do
full
it.
entrance?
The
do it
whole
all.
entrance. Peppermint.
I didn't
Against
even
things?
write anything.
She did
for
a
that.
blue robe with braids, and she just went, "Hey."
And it's okay. So in all fairness, the first person to walk in won't have that memorable. Willem had a great one.
Adore had a great one too. She goes, "I'm home. Oh fuck, am I the first one here?"
Yeah.
It was just like a real quick, she was
Right.
talking to nobody. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was just meh.
I liked that. I shared her video that I saw on Twitter that I tagged you guys in,
yeah.
and after seeing that, after we had done the Meet the Queens, I was like, oh, okay, maybe maybe I will like her more. So I kind of had a change of heart. And then seeing her now on the show, I was like, no, I think I was right.
I have to.
I'm having an issue mostly, and I don't know what it is because I can't tell. I mean, I even got off my couch to walk up to the TV to look. Because in the video that I shared on Twitter, she has the lace front on, but you cut that long piece, you're supposed to cut that down, and she left it. So was like, okay, well, she did that for that video, blah blah blah, whatever. I Lego, but every look she did, I questioned the hairline, and I was like, what is she doing? Like, why is it looking weird to me?
Right.
So that was my only issue,
and I had a question about that too.
I felt like she could go there. She just seemed a little too basic, for me.
Real quick, I want to ask you because we never watched the Meet the Queens. What was your reaction watching the Meet the Queens first and now watching the first episode?
It's interesting because I have now, from watching Meet the Queens, now that I have this like preconceived like thought of them in my head, there are some people that I was really amped up for that didn't turn out that way, and then some people that their personalities really shone through in the entrance, and then some people like were disappointing, you know. So it was a little bit of a different feel to kind of have that feeling of anticipation.
Yeah. Well, I still think there's an experience to be had.
Right.
It's just not, you're going to have your first impression of them on the Meet the Queen, and then that first episode is going to be like, are they going to live up to what I'm hoping?
Right.
So, which is almost, I feel like, a kind of a cool thing.
But I do think for me, like, in some cases where your first impression on the show really means more because you're not being styled so much by the show, like you're being styled by yourself. So there were definitely, like, we talked before here about Shea Coulee's, like, she had this really impressive outfit on the Meet the Queens, and then I wasn't so impressed by her outfits in this episode.
I disagree with you on Shea Coulee's outfits because I like them. I will agree that I feel like I now that I've done both, I don't want to watch the Meet the Queens again. Okay. I like watching the first episode, the first entrances, because I feel a little cheated because of what you just said about them already being made up, and because clearly there's a theme in the Meet the Queens. Whereas had I seen Nina Bonina walk in with that mouse outfit from not knowing anything about her, I wouldn't be Team Nina, like, you know, right away. Like, I feel, wait, let me back up. I would have been Team Nina from, like, without the Meet the Queens, but now it's more validated. But I feel cheated that I got to see a little bit of her first, and then the first episode. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There were also some weird makeup things that were going on. Like, Trinity Taylor's makeup in the Meet the Queens was not good at all. No. Well, and then she came out and I was like, who is this? And I went back and I'm like, that can't be the same person because her makeup for Meet the Queens was not very good, and then she's got this beautiful makeup on the show. So I was kind of having this
Meet the Queen. Yeah, she's got like a real smoky eye in the Meet the Queen.
So
but it doesn't come across right.
After Peppermint was Valentina. She had the red dress.
Hello, it's me, Valentina.
I like her.
Out of drag, she looks like David Schiffelity. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I remember David.
Yeah,
he was one of our hosts here.
Oh, cool.
I can see that.
This is my biggest turnaround from our Meet the Queen special. I, like the rest of the world, fell in love with Valentina in this episode. And that introduction, I thought it was like a good look for her to come in with.
Yeah, because last week I was like, meh. Again, she was the last video.
She was
and I was like,
indifferent.
But I agree. I'm very...
I thought of you because in some lights, Valentina kind of caught like a Tatiana look to
me. Yeah.
I could say that.
Yeah.
I wrote... only doing drag for 10 months, but I have to say, as of right now, and based on her entrance, she doesn't look it.
Right.
As if she's only been doing it for 10 months, and I wrote polished.
And she's from Echo Park, so she's a hometown girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm down for that.
I think her downfall will be her inexperience, though.
If she wouldn't have said that she had only been doing it for 10 months, I would not have known.
Yeah.
Just from her entrance and from her Meet the Queens, I would have known. So...
And my first impression, too, of Valentina, she does something different with her eyebrows in that shading, and I thought that was really cool. I hadn't seen something. It was very separate right here,
She
like
draws,
toward the bridge of the
each
nose.
separate.
Yeah, and I thought it was
Oh,
something I
you have
hadn't
never seen that before?
Not on
Oh, okay.
anybody, yeah. So is there somebody on the show that maybe I missed that on?
I've seen people do it, but I don't remember if it was on the show or... Tammy Brown does it.
Oh, great.
Tammy
Yeah,
Brown does
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Tammy Brown does.
It just felt like it was a fresh take.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, Eureka, who's the resident big girl of this season.
Give it up for the big girl.
I wrote, looks good. She seems to know herself, even though she's young. But then I said to Jay when we were talking outside, I like her. I put her as my number 4 in my top 3. But I just feel like by the time I got done watching the Untucked, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to continue to like her that much. I don't.
Why?
I started getting a lot of her rubbing the wrong way on me.
Yeah.
Because she is confident, but I don't know. There's something about her that doesn't seem. I don't know how to put my finger on it. But
Was it the question she asked in Untucked? Because you have this. Now these queens are hyper aware of how people perceive them at home, and so you have it was Valentina, I think, who said, oh, I just feel this like love in the room or something like that. And then later on, you have Eureka asking like, well, who do you think would be in the bottom? And I do understand that the judges probably, prompt certain people to say certain things.
I'm sure the producers.
But that was a fair question though. I didn't even think of that until she brought it up, and that's why I wrote it down because I want to get your opinion.
I almost don't like. It almost makes
show.
Me because you set it up for a villain in that regard. It almost makes me want like a different party to come in and say it if this is how it's set up, and it turns out that these queens are not actually asking these questions, that this is just like somebody off stage prompting them to say it, just have that person ask it, like say you ask this person that, because we're not that dumb. We know.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they tried to hype up this whole Eureka versus Trinity Taylor thing with the pageant, which I
Coco and Alyssa part 2.
Yeah.
can't deal with that. Really, I really can't.
Well, it's so funny because I just did the Days of Our Lives after show, and we were talking about how
Marlena, is she the villain now?
she's possessed by the devil again. But how they always reuse storylines, and that's what's bothering me with this is like
what other storylines
there's
can we do?
so many people out there, and this is what you have to do every time is put people in like.
Right. I would like them.
Stop it.
You know what? I even thought of this because when they were in Untucked, and it seemed like everyone, and when Valentina, someone just mentioned how she was like, "Oh, I think this is a fun group of people." I want them to be against like the man and against the manipulation. Like I want them to like. Okay, we're gonna actually all get along, and no one's gonna start drama, and let's see how this goes.
Oh yeah.
I would like for them as a group to collectively do that.
Yeah.
Lisa in the chat kind of is putting into words what I thought about Eureka. She seemed very thirsty, where she had a comment when everybody walked into the room, and it wasn't like great. It wasn't super funny or super witty, so it just kind of felt like you were trying to get that airtime.
It was a little shady.
Yeah,
I could see that.
So, but
I'm a little indifferent on her. I don't really one way or the other. I would like to see how she plays out through the season.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. Pheromone. No, sorry.
Charlie
Hides. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Charlie Hides was next.
Hi.
She is 52 years young.
Did you guys see?
That was you and me.
Yeah. We've been on sync so far this season.
You're synced up this month.
I know. We're on the same side.
That's right. We're bitchy together.
She had the shady dress. I call it the shady dress.
It was cute.
I wrote that I like that she tried to use the entrance to make a statement.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
there's something I find endearing about her. Like she doesn't want to stand out. I think with age you learn maturity, and you know when your time to shine, when it's your time, when it's your turn. And I think she's gonna be. I think she may be the one to watch. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I definitely think she's the one to watch. I mean,
although
she has a distinct personality without shoving it down your throat.
Exactly, that's what I want to say.
See, I see from her meet the Queen. I thought the opposite. I thought she was trying to. I thought she was putting. It didn't seem genuine to me. It seemed like a putting on a thing. So
agreed.
We'll see.
And I find it very interesting how we have a 52-year-old competing against 25 and 22-year-olds. And I want to see how that dynamic will play out.
Yeah.
We've seen age differences before and how it played out.
30 years?
That's a big, huge gap.
30 years.
That's a person.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are 10-year-old people. I don't know. Ignore that comment.
But you're so pretty, Jack.
Thank God.
So pretty. You remind me of Miss South Carolina. Miss
Charlie
Teen
Hyde.
South
Oh
Carolina.
my God.
Charlie Hyde was one of your top 3, right?
She was definitely my top 3, in my opinion, stayed consistent with our Meet the Queens, where I think that I'm going to continuously like her.
Okay.
Right on. Okay. Next was Pheromone.
She's gorgeous. There's no one denying.
She's very
There's,
beautiful.
Like,
She's,
no denying
yeah.
it.
I love that she came in. So this is what it looks like. Yep.
Yeah. I hate to say it, she was basic. And I don't mean just in this entrance and this look. I mean throughout the episode.
Well, I think her age has a lot to do with it because she's young. I hated that she was wearing white panties under that. Like, if you're gonna wear something like that, like I felt like there's a lot of styled out, that you wear to be seen underwear, and I just thought it looks like you just left your white panties on that you had on last night and you just threw this over it. I just didn't like. That just bothered me. It bothered me so much. And she just seems I feel like she looks like she's going to be eaten alive. I feel like they're just going to devour her.
I have this weird thing about painted cleavage and being
it's
able
the
to
new
see
thing.
it.
It's the new thing.
I know it's given the illusion, but when it's noticeable, like on her, I can definitely see it. I remember who was the winner? Violet used to do it all the time, and it was noticeable. And I don't know if it's just because it's on TV or what have you, but it's really noticeable and it bothers me.
I don't
know why.
I've never been a big fan of it.
I actually thought that was the strongest part of her entrance, was because it was noticeable, and without her wearing any body piece, it gave a little bit of like a shape to that dress anyway, because otherwise that dress would have looked just straight up
Flat.
and down.
Yeah.
Which may have been the illusion too, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about Farrah last week, and not much has changed for me yet.
Yeah. I no expectations.
I like her personality. I think she's cute.
Her in the workroom was cute.
I think she's cute.
Yeah. Okay. Sasha Velour. Okay, so you guys were Team Sasha Velour last week.
She's in my top 3.
I love this. I loved her outfit. I love all of her outfits.
Okay, I'm gonna be the buzzkill. She still hasn't done anything for me. I even rewatched her Meet the Queens because I was like, I don't know. Okay. I think her personality is great. I think she's very spirited. But when she walked in the workroom and she did the Sharon Needles like scream, I was like, okay.
I like that.
Notice I blocked that out of my memory.
Yeah,
though.
it was just too much.
I like that scream. I like that she came in with the crown. I feel like I'm gonna get like kind of what I'm missing from like a young David Bowie from Sasha. Like just like a really kind of like a gender fuck kind of thing from her.
Yeah.
And I think it's not gonna be the traditional drag. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get something from Sasha that I haven't gotten.
I haven't. Oh, well, we'll talk about it later. I have an issue with her applause outfit or look. But we can talk about that later. So you guys are still Team Sasha. I'm
still.
I definitely love that. I wrote that I love that she's true to herself. I think that they may dislike her because of that. You know what I mean? How people kind of get on you.
As in the
Other girls.
judges? Oh,
the other girls.
Okay.
And then I did write. I would have liked to seen more in the outfit that she walked in.
Okay.
Because I feel like she's probably got a lot of great stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is an opportunity.
Well, we know she got 2 crowns.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I was bothered by that, by the way. Alexis Michelle was next. Okay, so I had her at. She was one of my top 3 from last week.
She's in my top 3 as well.
She's slipping down the
Really?
Yeah. I don't think she really stood out now that. Well, we'll talk about it later. But her entrance, the bodysuit, it was the shape of it. It didn't flatter her body. It was that pink, that purple bodysuit, and the hair was just too. Not like it needed to be big, but it was just like, it was, man.
I didn't feel like the bodysuit was flattering either.
Yeah, it was just.
I do like her personality, though.
She has great personality.
I mean, I love that she's a theater queen.
But are you trying to fuck her personality, or is it just... I'm just kidding.
Personality can bring you a long way.
I will say Alexis Michelle was the most attractive as a boy for me.
I can see that, yes.
Yeah, she's attractive.
And I really didn't write too many notes about Alexis Michelle. She was kind of like a middle of the pack for me this episode.
Right.
So I haven't really shifted too much. I'm more excited to see when we get into challenges with her, because I think that's where she's going to go.
I think so too.
Right.
I think so too. And I love that she said, "How do you like them, Meg Rolls, Mr. Charles?"
That was a cute intro.
I really like that. It's from Gypsy. It's Mr. Goldstone in the song. How do you like them egg rolls, Mr. Goldstone? And then she said Mr. Charles. I thought that was cute. And I like that it fit her, that she's a Broadway girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Shea Coulee.
I didn't come to play, I came to slay.
I like her. That was my number 2, or she was in my top 3.
She's in your top 3 too. That's what I thought.
And I'm sticking with her.
Okay.
I want to see. I know you guys are a little underwhelmed, but I want to see more. I love the Muppets with the blue leggings.
I think out of all of her outfits from last night, that one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, her entrance outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, her entrance
See,
outfit.
I wrote, I still don't think I'm 100% behind her. Looked a little scattered. Like this was the last thing she had left to wear. Like she has
Really?
everything designated for the challenges, and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna wear this. I don't know. I
think for me, the only thing that outfit could have used was a little bit of editing. Like maybe because I love a big Muppet jacket and I love the dress, but maybe if like the shoes and like the glasses were gone, I would have liked it better. I think, but that's something that I feel like is a comment I always have on a lot of drag queens, because a lot of them like throw so much on, and I know that some people's style, like Alyssa, that's her thing, but it's just not.
You're totally giving me Michelle Visage, and I'm being Ross Matthews.
Yeah.
I want more, and I want just throw it all on.
I'm a big fan of like editing.
Okay.
I like your little
Jay,
sad
what do you got?
face.
I put a little sad face and a P. I don't know.
Okay, so
what these are.
Jay did notes, and he put P's by people's name, and he has no idea, no clue.
I made like, because we're writing furiously trying to get
Right.
like notes down because there's so much happening, and I put abbreviations for things. I have no idea what they stand for, but I do know that this little unsmiley face is unsmiley.
Sad face.
Sad face.
Oh, thank you, Steven.
Such as
You're so cute.
I don't know, maps. Okay.
Such as
Maps. This was my biggest downfall from the Meet the Queens, where I saw Shea in that, like, remember that
Yeah,
Nefertiti
headdress, yeah.
headdress, and then this one she said she was on a budget, so I'm wondering if this is like still my Chi Chi DeVayne, where she comes in like the trash bag and is going to impress me with the challenges, which I hope that's what's happening, because
Right.
I would like. I think Shea is going to be a strong competitor. I just need to see it.
And I think Gaga made a good comment, is that like she's beautiful and she has this kind of like poise. She has this poise and presence. And it's just, for me, the outfits aren't really matching up to that.
Right.
Yep.
I'm still her team
She
Shea.
looks a little disheveled.
Trinity Taylor was next.
Yeah.
Meh.
Oh.
I did like the hair in her entrance.
I liked her
entrance
hair and makeup.
What was she?
She had the
Oh.
bodysuit. She had the
blue hair.
revealing bodysuit.
It bothers me that I hate when they call themselves something.
The body girl.
And then she kept saying, I'm the body girl, and it was hysterical that Kimura came in next.
I love that.
And Eureka's like, so much for that, girl.
Yeah.
I wrote still don't like her.
I think we were all.
Don't like that she says I'm the body girl, and we know what happens when you're just body. So
She has a P next to her name too, and I don't know why.
Are these? Do you just want to pee on
who,
all
are
of
the, who are
them?
the ones that have P's?
Alexis, Michelle, Eureka, and Trinity.
Jay is gonna urinate on these queens. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I wanted a water sport, so I don't know. She came in with the body is here, bitches, and she said that she went from a pancake to a Kardashian, and it was like, you know, that like
Yeah.
sound sound. It really wasn't that.
Wait, are we talking about Trinity
impressive.
now?
Trinity, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
don't have to,
I
we
didn't
can
love the
move on.
outfit that she came in, and I'm not really sure how much I'm going to be rooting for Trinity.
Yeah,
I'm not
no, she
at
can
all.
go first. Kimura was next.
Black.
She looked like a Kardashian to me. I felt like that was my
That was a
takeaway from her outfit when she entered. I was like, oh, it's like a Kardashian.
I'm still seeing Gia Gunn. I cannot
Yeah,
not see
I
that.
definitely see
and
that.
I don't, and I think it,
Without a wonky eye.
Okay.
Those eyelashes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I wrote that I liked her in a bit, I put it in quotes, a bit more than I did in her video.
Oh, thank you, chat. It's pageants. Girls who have been in pageants.
Yeah.
You guys are so smart.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Patrick, thank you. Edvinas, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. And we're talking about pageants?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yay for Jay.
Oh, did you
I
think
love
of
how
Kamara?
people around the world knows what has Jade's
Exactly.
notes.
It's in his
Except for
so
Jade.
simple that they're able to enter my head.
It's okay.
Yeah. You guys are so smart.
Your team is South Carolina for sure.
Such as.
Sidebar. Go watch Miss Teen USA.
10 years later.
Was it 10 years ago?
2007. When she was asked about.
I wondered how that came up.
James
She
Mansfield
gives
is
the
next.
Donald Trump of
Did you
answers.
wait?
Kimora Black. I didn't have much to say. Known for her ass is what I wrote.
Right.
Who?
Kimora Black.
Oh.
So,
I'm sorry.
And I did
Sorry.
like that they put her in right after Trinity saying that she's the body, and then Eureka turns. She goes.
So much for that.
So much for that. I thought that was good editing.
Yeah.
So James Mansfield was next.
I wrote liked even less than the video.
Oh, wow.
She just looked all one color. Like her makeup, she has to do more contouring. Like she just looked like flat.
Right.
Like she didn't look like she's contouring her face at all.
Which she
and
was the one who
just
brought the
seems-
puppet in?
she had the puppet. She just seems very amateurish. I did like what Eureka said to her, though, when she was like, is this real? And she's like, well, from the feet up. She goes, well, I meant your personality.
Yeah.
That was shady.
James
Yeah.
is going to be a hard one for me to talk about.
Why?
Because there's really not too much
Because you
positive
didn't
I
put
can
a
say.
P by his name?
And there's no P.
No, no cake. But we were talking before the show, me and Jay, that I feel like if she does what Gaga told her to do,
Yeah.
it will help her tremendously.
Yes.
I think that was of everybody that got advice, I think that was the one that I was like, you better listen to her,
Okay.
because I do think that will make a difference.
But if you come in with a plan, I think this is a plan and not who she is, and you deviate from that plan, maybe she came in with plan A and that's all she had. You know, I mean,
what are you saying? You're
What do
saying
you
that
do?
you think
Like-
that she planned to act this way?
I believe
that
so.
you don't think that that's genuinely her?
I believe
her
so.
character?
I believe so.
I
I'll have to
think
watch her
though,
YouTube videos to
part
see
of
that.
it-
Yeah.
When you
I don't think I want to watch it.
when you put on a drag persona, like you're someone like Max who has this kind of like put upon accent, or like a more of a character than some of the other queens are, I do think that there is also some level of you in there. And what their comments are with James Mansfield is that you have like the persona, but you don't see the person inside the persona. So it's a matter of like, we know that this is based on something that means something to you, but we can't see the you inside that comes out of it.
For example, Trixie Mattel has a shtick. We always
Yes,
talk about that.
yeah.
And she commits to it, whereas I think James Mansfield is not really committed to it 100%.
Okay.
And so it's difficult for, like what Gaga said at the end in Untucked, for people to see her but still get the full package. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
If you want to see an interview with Trixie Mattel, there's we have LGBTQ&A, the podcast here.
didn't Trixie do sorry, sidebar. At
It's a
DragCon,
really good interview, and they
wasn't
have
she on
other...
stilts? Who was on stilts?
No, that was
Ivy Winters.
Ivy
that one.
Winters.
Okay, never
She
mind.
liked your
Trixie
video,
Mattel.
by the way.
Never
Did you
mind.
see?
I saw Ivy. Thank you
that's-
very much, Ivy Winters. It was great interviewing you, and that's with oh God, I just had his name. It's LGBTQ&A with Jeff Masters.
Masters.
Yes.
And it's great. It's on AfterBuzz. And
He interviews all sorts of
Yeah.
LGBTQ.
And I did have that on my email ready to read that too, by the way.
And he was on Broadway Breakdown. If I wanna plug my own show too.
fantastic. He's so sweet. I love.
While we're plugging, Days guy down here.
Days got what?
Days
What?
guy down here.
Yeah, I already talked about it earlier.
Okay.
But yeah, I do Days of Our Lives if you watch Days of Our Lives.
And Jay is outside peeing on people.
Or
Putting pee on people. I know, it was bad. It was bad. Okay, are we done with plugging?
Only one thing. Well,
sorry.
at the end I will. But James, I just want to say I'm glad that she got that wake up call from Gaga this early, because I'm hoping that it will be that
I hope so
turnaround.
too.
Gaga's
I do.
comments were on point.
I
have
They
to
were on
agree.
point.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nina Bonina was next. Fucking sickening.
I
she
love
was,
the rhyme. I love the rhyming
Yeah.
scheme.
She was number one for me last week, and she's still number one for me this week.
Yep.
And that mouse, oh my god.
So good.
To be able to we're all saying the same thing, is to be able to change the makeup from the mouse to the peach in like no time is incredible.
I mean, even the girls were talking about how in the Untucked,
incredible.
how incredible it was that she was able to do that.
And on top of that, I like her out of drag.
I did too.
Like,
I know.
like her personality.
When I saw her as a boy and just her videos and stuff, I'm like, oh, I really like I was literally like saying to the TV, I really like her. I really like her. And I don't know. She just embodies the whole, like, they need to be worried about her.
Right.
And I love that they all put her in the bottom.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. Because I'm like, what were you guys thinking?
What were you watching?
Yeah. And I just love that she won after they all said that. I was like, oh, take that.
I love her. She made a comment on our last drag show.
Yeah,
we're not blowing smoke up her ass.
We're not blowing smoke up her ass.
I
She
said
really
that I
is a
liked you from the
phenomenal
first.
drag
If you're
queen.
watching, Nina, I liked you the first episode. I don't like you now. The one thing I don't like is I feel like she's lacking confidence.
Well,
like her aesthetic, she knows what she has a purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that, and we all have purpose, but she does drag with a purpose. She knows what she's trying to convey as an artist. I just want her to be 100% behind it.
Yeah.
And not second guess herself.
But I do like that she made this comment, like, I'm 34, I'm living at home, like, it makes me feel this way. So you can kind of get where that
I
coming
get that.
from
I totally get that.
And I think that her winning will change that.
Right.
Agreed.
I think she's validated now, and she goes, okay, maybe I am
As sickening
worthy
as
to be. Yeah, exactly. And I hopefully she will.
Right.
What do you have to say?
Aja's. Oh, sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
Just real quick, Nina, I liked her in her Meet the Queens, and it continued through this episode. And I'm just really hoping that the judges see what we see in her, because I feel like this could be like another Thorgy incident where she gets cut way too soon. And I really want her to go the whole way because I liked what I saw.
She was my Acid Betty, and I thought that she got cut too soon from
That's
last
for
season.
me. Same.
Yeah.
Aja is last coming through. She had the trash bag to the reveal of the little black trash bags. I don't know. She does not stand out for me at all.
Well, Sasha says that she's like the big thing in Brooklyn right now. Like when she got booked, I wrote that I liked her a bit less than the video because she was one of the videos that I watched that I was like, oh, okay, I don't hate her. But then watching her, I did like she didn't look as polished as she did in the Meet the Queen.
Right.
She did definitely, like, her makeup looks a little rough around the edges.
Her makeup looks great here.
But she does seem generally nice. Like, she seems like she's a nice person. Because she was kept saying nice, like when she came in, she was. They were showing her talking to everybody like, I like this, and you're, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't shady. So and she's confident. You know what I mean? Right. And that is so funny because I was talking about this. I think I might have even said it on here. We did a thing in one of my acting classes where the guys that my teacher did it for me. We had to play the guys in my acting class, the legit Leslie Kahn acting. We had to do a scene as tranny hookers. It was a scene from a film or something that they had brought in. And so the guys in our class, of course, were freaking out and everything. And there was one guy that was up doing the scene, and he felt uncomfortable in the women's clothing, obviously. And, well, not obviously, but for him, for a straight guy, it would be weird. And he kept trying to do the scene, but he kept laughing, and he wasn't doing it well. And I finally stopped him, and I said, do you feel pretty? And he's like, no, of course not. I'm like, well, that's why this isn't working. Because then when you're in drag, and even when you're starting, you feel like you're the shit. You feel like, even if you're not put together, you feel it. And that's why you're out, and that's why you're doing it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I feel like she's there where she's got the confidence and makeup can be worked. You know, you can improve makeup. So I feel like she's got it. She just has to kind of fine tune it, and I think she will do well. I think she'll be somebody like in 5 years, we're going to see a post on Instagram where we're going to be like, oh my God, is that Aja now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's just going to go to a whole other place.
I think she'll grow during the show.
Yeah.
So if she's not cut too early, because right now she was
I think that could be the
turnaround.
The turnaround.
Yeah. Okay.
She could potentially be.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jay.
Sorry, I got a little
That's
tangent
all I wanted. Yeah, no. That's
okay, cool. We got like 10, 15 minutes for the rest of the show. So they did a I'm just going to say it, cunt pageant.
Miss Cunt pageant?
Yeah.
How did I never notice that before?
Charisma,
Are you
uniqueness,
serious?
nerve, and talent.
I never noticed that.
Oh my God.
Okay, he takes it from
How
me.
did I never notice that?
Let's just continue. I'm not going to address that.
Are you kidding me?
So
I'm being serious right
and that's the sad
How did
part.
I not know that?
We're not
so
sure.
they had to come up with 2 looks. I'm not gonna dress this.
I need to leave.
You didn't know
I need to leave. No. Why would I'm a lady? I don't think that way, you dirty people.
All this time, you never.
I never dawned on me.
Okay.
Wow.
So they had to come up with 2 looks. One look for your hometown look. The next look for the Gaga look. Oh my God, Mark, I can't
Stop laughing at me.
Okay, so let's go through this real quick.
I love Michelle's look. I loved her outfit.
I really honestly didn't remember what she had on. I
Oh,
wasn't
she
really
had
paying
like
attention.
they were all very business-like all of their outfits. I loved Gaga's business
Yeah.
outfit, and
Oh, thank you for ruining that Gaga thing for me last week, by the way.
Being the walk-in.
Yeah.
Gaga looked amazing. Oh, that was one thing that we missed was
Yeah.
Gaga looked stunning walking in.
Yeah, but
I
like,
love that.
I
I
would
love that
have
tease
I would have
with the
liked to watch and not have it
Well, I didn't
spoiled.
know you didn't know.
I
Well, if you
didn't
watched
know.
the commercial.
I didn't watch the. I didn't. I and this is why this is why I didn't want. I don't watch Meet the Queens. I don't want to see anything. I don't. I want to experience it firsthand.
I'm gonna leave clues on his driveway when he
all
comes home to ruin next season 10. Oh, I can't wait.
Mark, I'll see you next Tuesday. We may not have time to run through all of them, so let's just pick our favorites.
why don't we go through them and then go through them both
Both at the same time.
Okay, Peppermint. Choose first.
No, wasn't Valentina first?
Nope,
No,
Peppermint.
Peppermint was
Okay.
first.
Statue of Liberty in the bathing suit, and
Nah.
then got the Grammys 2016 in the very David Bowie orange hair.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the whole what Mark was talking about with the hairline thing. It was very noticeable, and even on Untucked, it was twice as noticeable.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I don't
It just
like that.
bothers me.
I did not like her David Bowie Grammys.
Wasn't she in your top?
I wanted to. That's what I was gonna say. I wanted to like it more than I did.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Man.
Yeah.
I would have sent that Statue of Liberty back to France.
and I agree with them. Being from New York, it's obvious that's going to be somebody's going to do Statue of Liberty. Change it up.
Well, see, and that's what
There's
we were.
so much more. There's
yeah.
so much more to New York.
Yeah.
You could
We
be
were-
a-
we were talking about
you
that
could be a
beforehand.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Because
Yeah.
and I was saying to him when I'm watching the challenges, I always think, what I have still could I have wore, for the challenge?
That Ohio State jacket.
Or I have an Ohio State dress, girl.
I'm sure you do.
Oh, yes, I do. Or I think, what would I do? But then I'm always trying to think of a twist on it so that it's not
Think
what everybody
outside the
else would do.
box.
And I don't understand why they can't. Why they don't want to do that.
Think outside of the box.
I don't know.
They don't
You know
have it.
what? I mean, for all the New York girls, who's the
Sasha Velour?
Trinity's
Trinity.
outfit looked like graffiti to me. So to me, that was the most New York because I was like, oh, she looks like a graffitied wall.
Yeah,
you're right.
And then I was like, oh, that's supposed to be Florida.
Oh,
so
yeah, I was like-
felt like the New York girls could have done something like that,
Yeah.
where it was like a graffiti
Graffiti,
kind
street.
of thing.
Yeah, that would have been hot.
It was just too obvious. Valentina was next. I fucking loved her East LA interpretation.
Oh my
I
god.
thought that was very good.
She's
I
great.
lived.
Yeah.
Sickening.
I lived. Both
Sickening.
of her outfits were
I didn't.
amazing.
Only thing with her second look, I have to say, is I wish she would have given that wig more body.
Nope.
It just looked like she pulled out of a box and put it on her
Don't
head.
care. I like the wig. I like everything about it.
Okay.
And I will
Okay.
even I put a check mark because I checked off the 3 that I thought should have been in the
But
top.
you have T's. But do you know what that means?
Top.
Thank you. Thank you.
He didn't know for the record.
I did. I had to think about it.
I put a big plus sign by Valentina. I'm shocked she was in the 3.
I put Valentina as my top, as I thought my top.
Yeah.
3.
Agreed.
In the challenge.
But she
Same.
doesn't have a T next to her.
No, these are the ones that the judges pick.
Oh, okay.
That mariachi was just so great.
Fucking
Yeah.
sickening.
Eureka?
Trashy and torn up, and then she was
It
a
was
telephone.
funny.
with
Busted
stripes.
redneck.
It was funny. And
I mean, I thought, what else? I don't know. I'm not that familiar with Tennessee, so I don't know what else she could have done other than like a country thing. But then would we go, it's like the Statue of Liberty, it's an easy out. So
Yeah,
I thought it was cute.
it was
I love
funny.
that she did scabs on her
She committed. She had
Yeah.
armpits.
Yeah,
she had
armpit
pit
hair. Yeah.
She committed.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't my favorite. I don't think it was a top.
Same. That's how I feel too.
I don't know. I thought I don't know. I think she was a top.
Her telephone dress was cute though.
Yeah.
I thought so, too.
I did like that. And it as a big girl, it suited it complemented her shape.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I like the telephone.
All right.
Charlie Hides.
Pilgrim, and then the
She struggled with
Brit
that one.
Awards of 2010, the white lace.
Fucking
Yeah.
sickening. The Brit Awards.
Yeah.
The only comment I
Pilgrim was-
have on both of them was because of that wardrobe fail where you didn't really get to see the second outfit. Now, from the two, you don't have a real sense of her silhouette. So I just hope going forward that the outfits like accentuate
And what she came
her
in
silhouette.
also
Yeah.
was very A-line, like
Right.
almost foamy or whatever.
Right.
So she don't
so
really
that
see
was
her.
my only thing is like I just want to see now like that she can do the silhouette
Right.
because it's not clear at this point.
I would have preferred her not to do a reveal for the Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Because it was just
I
into
didn't
another
feel
skirt.
like it needed a reveal.
I didn't
though.
either. I was. You feel like it did or didn't?
No, I feel like it did. Because the pilgrim outfit was so plain that
Yeah.
I felt like you needed something to
I
spice
wish,
it up.
like, I mean, even if she would have just bought sequin material, and the black was sequins, you know what I mean?
Sequence.
Yeah.
Sequence, like Roxy.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, bling it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Blink
like,
it. Blink,
yeah.
Blink it.
Bedazzle it.
Sasha.
Farrah.
Pheromone.
Pheromone had the feathers
Okay,
with the...
I actually
Sorry.
loved the Vegas outfit because to me, that is Vegas. Like, there's like
Showy and over
and
the top.
it
yeah.
was like a cowgirl theme, and Vegas has all those cheesy hotels that all have themes, so it made sense to me that it's like a cowgirl, and Vegas is in the West.
Okay, so here's my problem, and I agree with the judges on this, and that's very rare. It is Vegas, and I'm probably like flip flopping from my New York comment. When you think of Vegas, you think of showgirls. You think of like
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that.
That was a showgirl outfit. That was a complete showgirl outfit.
Okay, if you say so. I just it didn't read that way for me. Sorry.
I didn't have really
Not
a
sorry.
feeling towards it. For the Alejandro, the cross, I wish that those crosses weren't so shiny because they were very noticeable to me. Like if there was like maybe a matte finish on them. And I really wish, like in Untucked, we saw that reveal like a pull away because it really would have transformed.
That was like that outfit would have made it with the reveal.
Yeah.
I think her problem is going to be she's pretty and she's got nice costumes, but I think that's it. I think once she has to do a challenge that takes, public speaking or acting or comedy or impersonating, I think she is going to fall flat.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
I don't know yet.
her,
I think
so
she has a cute personality, so I'm not putting her.
We'll see.
I have no expectations.
Sasha Velour.
With Sasha, yeah. In the art blazer, crown, and then the piece of art. And then she did the applause, the corset with the
loved
I
it.
loved both.
Loved
I
both.
loved
I
both.
didn't think there were too many. And I hate props, but I felt like the heart was part of the costume. So then this was a prop. Like, to me, does that make sense? So I didn't feel like it was overwhelming at all. But I don't know, and I'm not familiar with that art either, so it didn't make a difference to me.
Yeah.
I thought it was alright.
And I loved the applause.
Well, you said
Look.
you had something about applause that you wanted to say.
Oh, I know what I want to
It
say.
had a T next to it.
It does have a T. She wasn't. She's
got all these T's and
we
check
got
marks.
T's and
Does it have a
P's,
P?
we got
No,
tops
no
and
P's.
P's. I just felt when I think of drag, I think very feminine, and for me, the applause, and I get it, and I remember the video, and I remember the art for the video. I just didn't read feminine for me.
She was wearing a bustier.
Yeah.
but just because you have I can put a bustier on it,
But
just wouldn't
you
make me
have,
feminine.
but for being this artistic, it was so her, and I feel like she did her, which I love.
And also look at Gaga, and you wouldn't read very feminine in Gaga in the
I
applause
get that
video.
too.
Right.
Yeah, I get that, but
Which, okay.
go ahead.
So Alexis Michelle.
Alexis
She had the
was in
swimsuit.
the white one piece and the capette or like the pop up, and she did the Golden
And then the
Globes, the
Golden Globe.
black gown.
The Golden
Okay.
Globes one was sickening, but like I agree with Gaga's comment. Like if you were gonna make this social commentary thing, then put it in the area where all the people can see it, because I didn't even know what that was until they made a comment in Untucked.
Right.
Oh, you didn't. You couldn't read it.
I couldn't read it.
Oh, okay. I didn't have a trouble reading it. I knew immediately when I saw it what it was, and I didn't feel like it needed to be neat and pristine. I think part of it was that it was
Just kind
almost
of
like graffiti. Yeah. So.
I agree with Gaga. The dress was great. Although I will say, because you got a P by her name, right? She's a pageant girl.
She is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was very pageant, and
Yes.
it was very, and she made the dress, which was great. I think it was safe. The dress was sick. Don't get me wrong. I love the dress, but I think it was just a little too safe.
Okay.
I think that dress saved her because I'm always kind of bummed out when I see a One Piece come out on a premiere episode.
Yeah. Agreed.
Shea,
Next.
or
Shea
sorry,
Coulee.
Shea Coulee.
I wrote did not like.
Hot dog.
I love.
You loved it?
I love.
He just likes a girthy wiener coming at him.
I love. And when she came out, she said, "Bitch."
And he's like, hot dogs everywhere. Yes.
Okay, Steven. I liked it. I really did. And when she did the Mystique, "Bitch, I'm from Chicago," I fell off my chair. I thought it was funny.
That was funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
What about the hot dog?
I just don't.
Too kitschy, or what was wrong with it?
Yeah, and the hot dogs on the boots and it just no, it's like so beginner drag to me. I'm sorry.
My suggestion
I'm sorry.
would have been to use condiments as like accessories. So like have like a red and
or be creative about it. Yeah.
I thought it was very creative.
I just feel like Chicago isn't like just hot dogs. Like you could have dressed
She
like she could have came out as a gangster, like a sexy like
dish pizza.
a deep dish pizza.
Like the
Big
mom.
pepperoni.
That's thinking
No,
outside
like
the box.
thinking outside the box is to
And
come
I don't-
out like a 1930s gangster.
I know I've never equated hot dogs with Chicago.
Same.
For
But
me.
I don't need hot
That
dogs.
I
was-
do, but that's because
See, I think
my
when I
family's
saw
from
hot dogs,
Chicago.
I was like, "Oh, is she from New York?" That was my first thought because of all the hot dog vendors in New York. But I mean, maybe there are in Chicago. I've been to Chicago one
There are
time, and
better
it was a
hot
long
dogs
time
in
ago, so
Chicago.
I don't remember. But
What about the
Just
Monster
saying.
Ball tour, the White Ruffles?
I liked it.
Okay.
The hem was messed up, and
Yeah.
that bothered me.
Maybe I need to go and
What did I write?
because did we watch this?
I
I
wrote
liked it.
It was different that she thought about a tour costume instead, but it wasn't so super relevant to Gaga.
Yeah.
Next, Trinity.
Trinity.
The big theme park with
I already
what
said
the
my
fuck?
thing
with the
about
puckered
that.
anus on the back, and then American Horror Story Countess.
That
The
is
horror
so
story was
pageant.
great.
That was so pageant.
I love the horror story though.
The hair.
The hair for the horror story, I love.
Yeah.
I loved. I was like, I want to take a screenshot of this and take it to my wig girl and be like, I need this.
Yeah,
was
it was
gorgeous.
great.
Brown.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kimura was next.
Feather hat and lace,
Again, what the fuck?
and then straps like the airport when Gaga was coming out of the airport. I remember that picture.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I mean, I just feel like her looks, those two looks that she did, weren't very different from each other.
No.
I feel like, you know what I mean? I didn't. I feel like every opportunity you have to show a different side of what you do, take it.
Agreed.
James Mansfield was next.
Cow dress and a bad wig. I wrote.
Again, what the fuck?
The booties, I couldn't deal with the booty shoes. Her pantyhose are like white. I was like, they're not even flesh tone. I'm like, what are you doing, girl? Girl.
And then she had the Vogue, the purple mermaid dress. Now, we talked about somebody having the same dress. You said for Charlie, I think, having the same dress when they walked in as
No,
this.
she wore a mermaid dress when she
She had
came.
the same-
James had the
Yeah,
same
James had the
silhouette.
same.
Silhouette, yeah.
So I didn't like that she used the same
Same
shape.
silhouette.
For
yeah.
both.
Right.
I didn't like Roll Girl with the two crowns.
Who?
Oh.
Sasha
Sasha Velour.
with the two crowns.
Oh.
Give me something different.
Well, I didn't mind. I thought her Gaga looked better. Like it looked like it should.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't understand the walking around drunk or whatever she was doing.
Yeah, it was
So.
a weird characterization.
But again, if she does what Gaga tells her to do, I
Yeah,
think it will
I
help
agree.
her.
You're right.
I agree.
Aja.
right. Statue of Liberty, I would have sent it back
Boring.
to
I did like it better than Peppermints, and I
I-
loved the orange hair with it.
Nah.
I did like that.
And then she did the VMA. Oh, sorry, no.
And
She did that.
She did the.
She did a Comme des Garçons.
That one.
Yeah.
For some
one.
reason, I wrote them backwards.
So did I. Why did I do that? Oh, because they flip-flopped them on the runway.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Comme des Garçons, I thought it was a cool concept, and it was an interesting choice. She didn't do a form-fitting anything. I thought it was kind of interesting, but it wasn't my favorite.
No, it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
I thought thinking outside of the box was great, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
And then my girl.
Nina
Nina.
killed on
She-
Vogue.
okay, she is my girl too.
Killed it.
So do not be claiming her to yourself.
What I appreciate about
Her Gaga dress, I was like drooling all over myself.
What I
it was
appreciate
so good.
is the fact that she took the inspiration and altered it. It wasn't a carbon copy, where
Yeah.
a lot of people did a carbon copy of a Gaga
Right.
look, or we've seen on the Madonna challenge, they did a
Right.
carbon copy of it. This was like, I'm taking this.
Inspired.
It's inspired, and I really really like that. And
I
the
appreciate
Georgia
that, too.
Peach, fucking sick.
Yeah.
My thing with Nina is that you knew if it wasn't even a Gaga challenge, you would see her in that lace and you'd be like, oh, that's a homage to Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that peach, if you didn't know she was from Atlanta, you'd be like, I think that's like a cartoony peach. Like you knew what she was going for
Yeah.
without even knowing the challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really. So I fell in love with Nina.
Yeah.
I was in love with Nina. I fell harder for Nina.
Did you pee on
Welcome.
her?
Sick.
I would-
Welcome.
I'm surprised no one did the meat dress though. I
I
mean,
am so shocked.
I am
too.
shocked about that.
And no bad romance like with those
The bubbles.
Oh.
That's our time.
Okay,
Oh.
bye.
Who do we think is coming back?
It was a big episode.
Someone
it was
from
a-
a previous season.
I
That's what
think it's gonna be Dax!
Of course.
Exclamation point.
You think it's gonna be Dax?
Yeah.
Exclamation point?
Yeah.
I know who it is. though,
Shangela.
honestly.
I hope not.
I've heard 2 names, so I don't know if we want to say them or not.
I'm gonna go with the rumors of Cynthia Lee Fontaine, but I don't know.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but I also heard.
Real quick, Nina won the challenge. We're getting played off. And she gets 7 days in Fort Lauderdale. Woohoo.
That's awesome.
Okay, so this was a lot. We had a lot to talk about. I'm sorry we didn't get to all of it. But join us next week. You can find me at Kenny C. Harrison on Instagram and Twitter. Jackie?
123 Jackie B on all platforms.
Mark?
At Lorraine Love, LORAYNE on Instagram and Twitter.
Jay?
Guys, I'm going live on Instagram, which is don't_be_jealous, and then Twitter at still_jealous. And I also did something for my friend's YouTube channel with a Who Would You Rather from the season 9 Queens, like Who Would You Rather Sleep With. So check that out at Hollywood Leon.
Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us. Gaga was great on this episode.
Yes.
Tune in next week, same time, same channel.
Bye, guys.
y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Drag you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.